Okay, hello guys. It's Thursday. Well, it is if you're doing it on a Thursday, if you decide to do it all at once, and it's not Thursday. But today's lesson, we're going to be moving on and using the mean to solve some problems. But first, we need to complete our Fluency Starter. So what I'd like you to do is you're going to have a look at these problems. You're going to think whether you need to solve them mentally or using a written method. Have a go at them, and then we'll go through the answers and talk about how you solve them. So give it a pause now and have a go. And our answers. So 984 add 70 was mental, because that's what you, well, not mental as in really hard, but it was a mental method. Because what you had to do was you had to realize 984 is close to 1,000. So if we add 16, we get 1,000. Take 16 quickly from a 70, which means we have 54. So 1,054. Question number 2. Those numbers had no relationship, and actually, if you look at the 6 and the 8, we know there's going to be some carrying, so actually just a column method of subtraction gives us 50,158. Question 3, mental, similar to the last video we did. When we times by 10, we just do one jump to the right, so that decimal point jumps to the right, put in that 4 in the ones column, 6,544.3. Question 4, tried to trick you out because the box on the other side. It's a written method, 743 divided by 7. So it should end up with 106 remainder 1. If you've gone in decimals, that's fine, but 106 remainder 1 would have been fine. Question 5 is a mental method. 993, add something, equals 1,113. Okay, so we had to add our 120. So the 993, we add 7 on to get the 1,000, and then add the rest to get the 113 part. It's just making links with numbers in your head. Right, let's crack on. So, learning attention, solve problems involving the mean. And you do it by looking at this problem. So this girl played 6 games during a basketball tournament. After 4 games, her mean score per game was 13. 4 games, mean score of 13 points. For all 6 games, her mean score was 14 points. How many points did she score in the last 2 games? Doesn't make a lot of sense of how we get there at the minute, but have it when I show you a method, it'll be really, really clear. So, first thing we do, the mean score for 4 games we were told was 13. So we need to find out how many points she scored over those 4 games. So we're going to almost do the mean, but in reverse. We're going to use the inverse. So we divide to get the mean, but now we're going to use our mean and times it by that number of games to get the number of points. So 13 was a mean, times it by the number of games, which gives us 52 points. Now we can check that by putting it back into our mean calculation, checking if it gives us 13. So 52 points divided by the 4 games gives us 13 for the mean, which is exactly what we wanted. A mean of 13 per game, so 52 points. Then we do the same for the 6 games. So the mean score for 6 games was 14, so we do the inverse again. 14 this time, times it by the 6 games to give us 84 points. Now we could check it by doing 84 divided by 6, but it will give us 14. And we want to find, hopefully we know we've got 2 different points there. We're thinking, right, how do we find out how many points you scored in the last 2 games? Maybe I need to do some, find the difference. Remember, the difference means subtracting. So to find the score in the last 2 games, we could put it in a bar model. We don't need to, but you can. But 84, 52, we want to know this missing part. So we do 84 take the 52 to give us this missing bit. 84 take 52 is 32. So she scored a total of 32 points in the last 2 games. Question solved, done. Now this boy at the bottom says, can you work out a score in the final game? X plus Y equals 32. He's used algebra, so if X is you score in the 5th game and Y is a score in the 6th game equals 32. There's so many possibilities it can be. So we could probably work out loads of possibilities, but to nail it down is really tricky. So we're just going to focus on the fact we've answered the question, and she scored 32 points in those last 2 games. Guided practice today, a different way of solving problems. I'm going to talk through it here. So the mean age of 4 siblings is 7 years old. The mean age of the youngest 3 is 5 years old. How old is the eldest sibling? We do exactly the same thing as we've just done. Let's focus on that first sentence. 7 years old times the 4 siblings, so the mean 7, times by the number of bits of data we have, which is 4, gives us 28. Okay, so the total ages of those 4 siblings was 28. The next sentence says the mean age of the youngest 3 is 5. So the youngest 3, 3, and their mean age is 5. 3 times 5 is 15. Again, there's your two numbers or the ages added together. Hopefully you're thinking, right, let's find the difference. So we just do 28, take 15, is 13. That's the difference between them. So that's, and because this was 3 siblings, this was 4 siblings, then there's only 1 sibling with this age. Okay, there's only 1 sibling making the difference, so that sibling is 13 years old. So we just did the inverse, times it, took them away. This one here was a little trickier. It involved a bit of trial and error, but we could get there. So this girl's scores for 5 tests are all different, and they're arranged from lowest to highest in ascending order. So test 1 was 70, test 2 was 76, test 3 is clearly going to be a 70 number, test 4 is going to be an 80 number, test 5 is going to be an 80 number. 3 of the unit digits are missing. Find the lowest possible value for her score in test 3. The mean of my test scores is 79. Test scores are whole numbers. So all we're going to do, we already know we've got 70 and 76. We're going to pick values that will fit these 3 numbers, add them together, and then to find the mean, we divide through by 5, and hopefully the mean will be 79, and that means we've got it. So we want to find the lowest possible value for her score in test 3. Okay, 76 is here. Test 3, if it goes in ascending order, it cannot be lower than 76, and it has to be all different scores, so it cannot actually be 76 either. So the next number it can be is 77. So I really want it to be 77. I'm going to try and make it 77. So I'll put the 70, add 76, add 77, and then I picked values for the 80s, as long as they go in ascending order, so 80 and 81. Added them all up to give me 384, and then divide through by my 5 bits of data to give me 76.8 as the mean. Now I wanted 79 as a mean, so it's too low. So I'm going to make some adaptations. I'm going to keep my first 3 numbers the same, because I want it to be 77. I'm going to add 80 still, but I'm going to add 89 now for 392. 392 divided by 5 bits of data is 78.4. Now it has to be a whole number, so it can't be that. And it has to be 79. I'm a lot closer, but still too low, so I still need to make my numbers bigger. Now 70 add 76, I was given those, so I have to keep those. I want it to be 77, so I'm adding that. And these two have to be 80 numbers, but in ascending order. So I put 83 and 89. Add them all up gives you 395. Divide through by your 5 bits of data, gives me 79. Now if we just scroll up to check whole number, there, and mean is 79, so I've got those rules. So I've shown that the lowest possible value of test 3 is 77, it has to be larger than 76, and the rest of the list is still in ascending order. I've solved that problem. I'm amazing. Right, what you can do now is give it a pause, do your workbook, then mark it using the answers on the website, and then come back and we'll talk through our plenary. So pause it now, go to your workbook. Okay, we're going to go on to our plenary now. Hopefully you had a good crack at your workbook. So, plenary. Hanif asked 10 people, what is your favourite sport? Here are his results. Football, cricket, football, hockey, swimming, football, netball, football. Is it possible to work out the mean of these results? So we've got 10 bits of data. Give it a crack, use the same method, have a go. So get it paused now and have a go at it. Okay, hopefully you've had a good go explaining how you know that you can work out the mean of the results. I've been mean. I've been horrible, because no, it's not possible at all, because you can only find the mean of numerical data. Yes, there are 10 bits of data, but these need to be numbers. You cannot find the mean of the word football. So there is no way to do it. So it's a bit horrible by me, but you know the answer was. Explain how you know you need numerical data to be able to find the mean. Right, well done. Done well on the mean and using it to solve problems today. Tomorrow we move on to looking at a bit of graphs and representation of data, and then it will soon be the weekend, so I'll see you tomorrow.